Hi, this message is for Capricorn. How are you doing? My name is Gemstone. Jamira is my real name. Wow, this is the first video where I said my full. Not to say that I have anything against it. It feels very formal. I don't know if you're in a formal energy, Capricorn. Also, before I started this reading, my throat, it currently still feels dry. It feels dry. All of a sudden, went to this deck. I'll be doing your reading for the month of October. I understand that it's a bit late, and I say that sarcastically. It is later than I would want it. This is my introduction to YouTube, and I told myself on TikTok, well, I said on TikTok that I would start making these videos, and the month that I said was October, so I have to honor my word, even though my energy has been quite interesting this month. Very hard to predict. So, oh, the Lovers. Very hard to predict. I showed that because it came out. Anyway, very hard to predict. And because of that, it has been hard to film at a consistent schedule. But now I know what to do for November and how to work with energy. So it's been a good lesson. Anyways, Capricorn, welcome to your reading. How I've been structuring my readings this month is by getting one card that is the theme of your month, and then using other cards or other tarot decks to probe so that we can get some more insight on the story that is what's happening in your month of October. So right now, we're going to look at getting your theme of the month. What is your theme of the month? What is the theme of the month for Capricorn? All messages are for their highest good. What is the theme of the month for Capricorn? I shuffled the deck before. This is just like a little time to get in tune with your energy. What is the theme of the month for Capricorn? At the bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant. This feels very traditional. And it's interesting because this card in a reading that I just did felt in its opposite manifestation, which is unorthodox. This feels very traditional. And the feeling is a fresh start. Ooh, that's really nice. That's really nice. Let's probe. I want to use this deck to probe. Let's probe. This could also be indicative of good health. Could also be indicative. It's just, it feels like a new beginning, a fresh start, a new beginning, something brand new, something fresh. Something fresh. So let's probe and get to know a little bit more. All messages are for Capricorn's highest good. Can we get some more insight on the Ace of Wands? So we have the Six of Wands, and what else is this? The Three of Pentacles. So there's like maybe a collaboration that has you feeling confident in your abilities. A collaboration that is something that maybe you've been working towards, and it happening is a sign. Let's see. Let's see. Yep, Three of Wands. I'm getting this collaborative energy. This collaborative energy. Let's see. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Magician. Ooh, attraction, manifestation. All right, let's get to know it. Ooh. Ooh. All swords. All swords. Okay. So already what I'm feeling is that there is a need for a fresh start, because the space that you're in is not very fresh. It's actually quite, I want to use the word stale, but I'm not trying to say this in a way that is meant to be mean. I feel like there's a lot of force, like you're hurting yourself mentally. This made me feel really awful, very bad. And it feels very cerebral. You're using force to keep yourself trapped, to keep yourself mentally trapped. And that feeling of stifled communication, I'm feeling that right here, where I don't think you're expressing what it is that you feel. I just feel tight. And not to mention here in this Nine of Swords, it feels like this though is delusion, a form of delusion, or it's delusional to what it is that you've been telling yourself about yourself. So I say delusional, I feel like you're believing conspiracy theories about yourself. Like you're believing the worst about yourself. And you're holding yourself back. And this is why there's that need for this fresh start here. You're holding yourself back, and this is the force behind it. This Knight of Swords that just wants to understand, and your want to understand is like blaming yourself or forcing things on yourself to make sense of it, but it's still not making sense, and it's making you very tight. And it's because you're dealing with a lot of things that you just don't know. And instead of accepting that you don't know, there's this need to blame yourself. But what is needed here is for you to recognize what you are, which is a magician. You are the controller of your life. You are the controller of your life. And she's controlling crystals. Look like crystals. They look quite sharp, like these knives here, or these swords. It's like, and I just saw citrine here. Yeah, it feels like a lot of you in your head. A lot of you in your mind. But let's get some more information. So how I've been doing this is the card that we're going to probe, I'm going to leave that card only so that we have some space to get to know it. So again, this is the theme of your month, and I think this is the theme. This is my prediction. Your theme is where your energy would best be utilized. And at the moment, you're in a state of trying to understand something, maybe trying to communicate something, and it's been a struggle. So you're holding yourself back. I'm feeling this sense of inertia, like this feeling of paralysis, like you're stuck. And you're stuck because you're kind of mentally destroying yourself with trying to make sense of things that you don't know. And instead of accepting that you don't know, you would rather blame yourself, which is taking you away from understanding that you are the creator of what your reality is. So the reality that you're living, where everything's your fault, and that you can't speak to anybody about it, is the reality that you're creating for yourself. I want to know this energy first. So we're going to probe that energy. Move these off to the side, and I'm going to use this deck. And then what was at the bottom of the first deck? Oh, right. Tradition, the Hierophant. All right. And then we also have the Magician of this deck. Interesting. Let's understand this a little bit more. So we are probing the Eight of Swords. What has this Capricorn confined? And confinement is, I feel like that's an understanding or a feeling that Capricorns learn or understand or know. After all, you are ruled by Saturn. And Saturn has a ring of confinement around it, looked at in its lowest sense. And it could be seen as, yeah, a ring of confinement, imprisonment, or it could be a ring of your discipline, you know, what your self-control looks like in reality. Really depends on how you see it. But right now, I'm feeling like you're paralyzed. Yep, there's this toiling energy between what do I do with my energy? What do I do? What do I focus on? Where do I go next? Let's understand this more. I'm gonna separate this deck. Yep. Okay, so this just came out, and this is the shuffling period, so this is not defining this. But to the fresh start, it feels like there is the need to transition, the need for a death to take place so that you can be independent. So what I'm feeling is attachment. What I'm feeling is attachment. And my head, I'm feeling my head a lot. So I don't know if you're in your mind and you're trying to hold on to something that's not doing you any good. But what I'm feeling is that there's the need for you to release it so that you can get into that independent energy that I feel you want, but maybe you're convincing yourself that that isn't what you want, so that you can hold on to whatever it is that you are holding on to. And really and truly, what you're holding on to is not even present. It's just all in your head. It's just all in your head. Let's understand the Eight of Swords for Capricorn's reading. October 2020 reading. All messages for your highest good. Capricorn, October 2020 reading, the Ten of Swords, yep. And the Three of Swords. So I don't know if this is because your heart is hurting, Capricorn. I was just going to call you Cap. I don't know if this is because your heart is hurting. And it has your energy scattered and you're just distracting yourself with thoughts that are actually detrimental to the forming of any form of confidence within yourself. I'm feeling the need of compassion towards yourself. Please get some insight on the Eight of Swords for Capricorn's 2020 reading in October. Some insight. And I'm also getting the vibe of trying something over and over and over again, expecting a different result. And it's just giving you the same of what you had, what you don't want. But somehow stopping is not an option for you at this time. Like trying a new way is not an option for you. One more time. Let's see. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Swords. So unknown. What was underneath it? The Nine of Cups. All right, so let's get to understanding this a little bit more. We have the Eight of Cups. The Knight of Cups. The Hierophant again. And Justice. Whoops, I touched the light. So what I'm feeling is this is what's in your space. The vibe that I'm getting is that someone left a commitment. Someone left a commitment. And I feel like the someone that removed themselves from the commitment was the person that initiated the commitment. And they left it. And it just doesn't feel just. So you are here toiling because it just doesn't make any sense. You're trying to figure out, where did this go wrong? Yeah, that's the vibe that I'm feeling. That this person, yeah, I don't feel like you left. I feel like you were left. I feel like you were left. And it could also even, I'm feeling a vibe that the person that left is giving their cup to someone else. And maybe this situation wasn't meant to be, like it wasn't meant to be. And it's hard to come to that understanding. And here she's holding a sword too. So it just feels like the reason why your communication might be stifled and challenging to come out is because it just doesn't feel just. And I feel like maybe what you will say might come out in a way that is harsh. I feel sad, but I'm going to continue. So this is the Eight of Swords. So to recap, the Eight of Swords has, and this could be that, the Hierophant that came out earlier at the bottom of the deck, like tradition. So you focused on getting what would be next. This is tradition. Like this is the cycle. This is how the pattern goes. You expecting it to go in this manner. But what's taking place is the complete opposite of that. And adjusting to that is something that is a struggle. It's currently not happening. And here there's a need for a fresh start. So I feel like there's a need to move on from this, but I can understand it's challenging because I don't feel like this was you. I don't feel like this was you. I don't feel like this was you. So that was the Eight of Swords. I'm going to go into the Nine of Swords because I want to see how this feels like the manifestation or like what this is accumulating. So let's understand. Page of Cups, Strength, Ace of Swords, and Four of Swords. Oh, good. So now in this anxious state that is because of this Eight of Swords energy fueled by this injustice that was done to you, you are getting to know your emotions. Maybe you weren't fluent with your emotions before, and now you're getting to know your emotions. And it feels like there's some form of healing that's happening, some form of healing that's taking place. And it's igniting an inner strength in you. So this doesn't feel like it's happening now, but this feels like it's going to be the result of this energy here, where now you're going to find your voice again, and you're going to get clear thought again. clear thought. And it's going to have you able to relax your mind. Able to relax your mind, which is the contrast, the complete opposite of this energy here, where it's self-induced problems, self-induced trauma, self-induced disease, and then self-induced calmness, self-induced relaxation and meditation, the controlling of your mind. But there is a need for you to get to know your emotions. And it's like that cup that was once extended towards yourself. Because I was going to say this, it felt like her. Like from this, you're taking something with you. But not to confuse. This just feels like one of the cups that you were harvesting and working towards in that connection. Previously, you took one for yourself, for you to get to know yourself. And now that's taking place off of the heels of you seemingly self-destructing. And maybe this is the energy that's going to push you towards understanding that a fresh start will be helpful for you at this time, because we have this Ace of Swords here. It feels like clarity coming in. That's very, very nice. I want to know more about this Knight of Swords. Tell us some more about the Knight of Swords. Okay. Okay. So the Knight of Swords had a plan. This goes back to the tradition that I'm feeling. It had a plan, but it was not, there was conflict in making that happen. And twice you're reminded that you are the magician. But maybe this feels like this feels like the person that you're dealing with, though. Let me see. You know what? No, it doesn't. What it feels like is that you had an expectation of how things should go. And this could be because it was a contract that was made. With the Hierophant, you have it twice. It's over here somewhere, but instead of fishing for it, there was a contract and you expected things to go that way. And that's what the manifestation was. This was something that you actually wanted. You wanted it to go that way, but it just wasn't working out in that manner. A lot of conflict on how things should go is what I'm getting. Like there's just not a clear direction. Not a clear direction. And so here, I feel like you're starting over in many senses. I feel like you're starting over in many senses. Now you are getting to know, like you're starting over when it comes to building your wealth. And it feels like you're going to do this on your own. You're going to get this yourself then. I'm going to do it. Because maybe, like I was saying earlier, that there's this need to detach. Maybe your way of getting this wasn't as pure as maybe your way of getting this was because of the other person, like from them. You were going to receive this, you know, versus you worked towards it. It was something that you felt entitled to with little work put into it. And now you are going to do it yourself. But seeing that where you're starting at a page. And in the suits, for the suit cards, the page is the lowest level. So you are starting from scratch, or starting from point A to get to the Ten of Pentacles. And in order to manifest these pentacles, like in order for you to be the magician and manifest these pentacles, you have to get to know the pentacle first. So I feel like there's that. But the reason for why you were harping on what it is that you felt you deserved here, the Eight of Swords, is because you felt entitled to this. Like you felt entitled to this. And you were stuck here. Like, but yeah, but this was supposed to be how it's supposed to go. Like, this is how it's supposed to go. So how can I get this? But slowly you're realizing I have to get it myself. I can't depend on anybody. I have to do it myself. I have to get it myself. This is moving in a positive direction. That's nice. And positive is in like higher vibe. It's lifting. The energy is lifting. And it's becoming more, there's more accountability on your end for what you can do to get yourself in the direction that you want. Okay, so let's understand the Six of Swords energy, Four of Wands. Yay! Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, and Four of Cups. I see. So maybe at this time, what left is now trying to approach you, maybe to reconcile. You're not having it. You're not having it. You're not having it. That's the first thing I felt. But I'm just seeing that you're doubling things. So let's take a step back though. So to the Six of Swords, this energy of the unknown, and it's here as well. This energy of going somewhere that you are unaware of. This new place. I feel like this is someone trying to reach out and offer, yeah, this feels like a reconciliation, like a form of maybe an apology or some form of a reaching out, and you're not having it. You're not having it, but staying in this state keeps you in this loop of not allowing yourself to move on past it. So there's a form of intolerance still, or stuckness, or stubbornness is the word I'm looking for. But while that is, this foundation that you are looking to build, this foundation that you're looking to build is starting within yourself. It's starting within yourself. What am I feeling from this though? But I feel like you're, although it looks bright, it doesn't feel that way. I'm going to be really honest. I feel like you're running away. You're running away from something. Like you're running away from the ending of this. You're running away from it. I thought it was like the idea of you building it. It doesn't feel that way. It looks that way, but it doesn't feel that way. It feels like you're running away from it. You're not allowing the process to end. You're not allowing the process to end and for this to move into that space of you moving on. It doesn't feel that way. It feels like a person that's ducking out of traffic. Like, no. Almost like I can do battle by myself, but bitter inside. And I feel like that energy usually is spawned out of bitterness. Anyways, there's resentment that I'm feeling. And that resentment is, you have potential to start over, but you're just very closed off. And here I feel this energy of a very determined energy, a determined energy to get out of the way, like to no. It just feels no. I just feel like no. That's just what I'm feeling. No. So to go through this whole thing, I picked it up to put it back, Okay. Let's go through this whole thing so that we're on the same page. There's a whole lot going on with the Ace of Wands. Is that cut off? Yeah, it is. There's this self-induced stagnation that's taking place, that's leaving you stuck in your mind. And what's propelling it or pushing it is the need to understand something because it's not making sense. And what's not making sense is the fact that you were in something that was following the lines of tradition. This connection, it was something that presented itself towards you. You didn't initiate it. Someone initiated it, and that someone that initiated it also left it. And they left a commitment that just didn't feel very just to you, didn't feel just at all. And in that state, it has you stuck in that space where you expected to get this, but it's just not, it's not working in that way. So adjusting to that transition is what has a lot of your energy focused towards trying to understand mentally. And through that, it's like a lot of blaming or blaming yourself, somehow being the reason for why things aren't the way that they're supposed to be. There is feelings like there are sprouts of energies that can move this in an uplifting space, but because you feel like you were wronged, it's creating a feeling of bitterness or resentment that's making it hard for you to move on to where you want to go, which is for you to be independent and for you to, have that fresh start where you can breathe fresh air again. Your moments come when you use the time to work on yourself, get to know yourself, and, clear your mind so that you could become a better channel for your clarity that you seek. But in the end of this right now, at this state, it seems like any form of reaching out, you're not open to it. You're not open to any kind of reconciliation. You're not open to it. And it's making your current state challenging because it feels like there's nowhere to go. There's no way to remedy this because the remedy is kind of presenting itself to you and you're not accepting it for your own reasons. In the end, what would be best in the situation is for you to let go and allow that first start to take place. Because it feels like if not, you're going to repeat this cycle again. And maybe not with the person that you initially had it with, but with someone new. I feel the need to imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. It feels like a lot of this is in your head. Like there's just a lot going on in your mind. But anyways, I read that because it was at the bottom of the deck and it went very well with what was happening. I feel the need to not leave this on such a somber note. So let's just get some insight from the universe, some gifts, or just, some insight. What energies would be helpful for Capricorn at this time as they go through what they're going through? What will help them at this time recognize that they have this fresh start that is possible at any given time, and that they are the manifester, the creator of that fresh start. They are in control of it. What would remind them of that? What's in the way of acknowledging that? What's in their way of acknowledging this? Let's see. At the bottom of the deck, we have adversity. So adversity is in the way. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. And at the bottom of that, we have grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. All right, so here are your gifts. Gift number 1 is surrender. I release my need to control. Gift number 2 is abundance. I am a limitless being and I manifest whatever I desire in the physical reality, in this physical reality. Number 3, freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Wow. And lastly, self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. I feel like this could be a very nourishing time. Although it seems off the heels of something terrible or something unfair. Everything in life happens for a reason, and I feel like this could be your way to recognize that you are the creator and manifester of your reality, Capricorn. I wish you all the best. This was your October 2020 reading. Yeah. This was your October 2020 reading. Please comment, like, subscribe if this resonated with you. I would love to know your thoughts, you know, create a dialogue between you and I. So please feel free to comment down below. You will see me again in your November 2020 reading. All right, take care.